you are to win game one in the final, there is a higher probability that you're going to end up winning the whole thing. And why is that, man? Because in the finals, usually in game one, everybody goes with everything that they have. In previous tournaments, we've always seen in the knockout stages, either quarterfinals, semifinals, round of 16, you always see and you always be talking about you need to pace yourself. But when you're talking about a final and the momentum is so important, winning game one can really dictate the whole direction of where the game is going to go.
I think that's a perfectly good point, right? But let me pull you back to KIS3. The person, the team who won the first game was Nongshim RedForce, but they ended up losing the series in the finals against Nova Esports. So that's definitely going to be something to look on about. You can say that, okay, it's just like a one-time thing. It might not happen again in this KIS4, but who knows? It's just an interesting point to point out.
Well, let me up you one on that one. Nongshim RedForce wins the first game, they lose 2 in a row, then they win 2 in a row, and they get the match point. So, sincerely speaking, the momentum was there for them. The problem was they were unable to close the deal at that moment. That was already 12 months ago, Sagi. 12 months after, we're here, we're in Jakarta, Indonesia. You already can see it. The initiation is going to be coming in from Nova. But then after that, Nongshim RedForce do have the sustain from the Yanjian, and they have the burst damage from the Ganonmo. What's going to happen in this game one of our final? Let's wait and see. The players are set, the tables are set. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our game number 1. Nongshim RedForce against Nova Esports. Take it from here, Sagi.
Welcome to Heroes Gorgia. And for this specific lineup coming in for the side of Nova Esports, you can definitely see Muchi's Arlie is going to be playing a pivotal role in countering Illusion and also Siri here. That Maple Dance S2 does really well into these projectiles here. And starting off the game already, we see Kong Ling aggressively invading the jungle against Haku.
What? Look at that. He's just jumping in so deep. The problem for him is that he does not get the final buff.
Yeah, Ratel comes in with Strand, coming in with the rivalry. Both fast lanes looking for a potential engage here, but Haku finding the perfect smite, leaving Strand as the sole member to escape from that onslaught here. So perfectly played by the side of Nongshim RedForce, utilizing their spells and perfect smiting against Kong Ling. So getting their Zero Golem, slowing down the Ogryn's farming pace in the first few moments of the game.
Well, slowing down the Ogryn, that is actually really good. Nongshim RedForce, they're able just to defend that aggression coming in from Nova pretty well. So I'm actually really happy to see that. When you have the Ogryn, you need to be doing that. That specific movement needs to be done. Well, for Nongshim RedForce, having the Guan Yu in there, being able to push him around, that's exactly what gave them the key to win that.
Yeah, so the early game as well, if Wendy has burned his flash already, it's gonna give Siri on the long lesser worry to be thinking about in these strong laning phases, right? Because Muchi, he's traditionally doing really good on this early based on his overall win rate on the specific hero. But removing the factor of Wendy, hang on a moment though, as we see towards the mid side here, Calling goes dangerously low. Whippet has the force, the flasher, and the dog lands on towards Whippet here. No flash. The counter comes in. Red trying to save his roamer here. Whippet gets to charge for safety here as Wendy going in for counter initiation, finds the Ryu engine on towards Haku, getting first blood, but it's not just over it. Strand is still finding for the next target here, riding the waves, getting the second kill. Wendy takes it in towards his pocket. Nova Esports online.
It is looking very, very, very strong for Nova. Very well done right over there. Haku, he had his eyes on Wapit, but he's a lapu-lapu. He's a tanky man. He runs away with a little bit of his HP, and Haku finds himself very deep in Nova territory. And Nova punished that hardly with a 2-0 trade.
A big overextension coming in for Nongshim RedForce as well. They wanted to get that initial kill on towards Wave Hit. And topside right now, we're seeing more of the pressure being put on towards Ratel here. Look at that wall, that ghost ship that's being dropped down. It really denies Ratel from actually being able to jump over that wall. Yes, you can charge a lot on Guan Yu, but coming into these small moments, it's very difficult for Ratel to actually get out of safety.
Well, Haku comes in and he's going to be able to bag in that Azure Golem. So now it's going to be Nonshin RedForce, the ones in control of that specific resource from Nova Esports. If you analyze these 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, we can see that Nova Esports have been a little bit more comfortable with probably the nerves of the final. They might look like right now like they want to take one more.
I would say that was a very fast one coming in for the side of Nova. Wendy, View Engine perfectly landing on the flash combo and then connecting the ultimate, sending in towards the face of Xuan here. And without Wendy for the next few seconds, Tyrant is pretty free going into the hands of Nova East. And that's also an Infinite Vastness pop coming in by the side of Nonshin.
The Infinite Vastness is going to allow Nova Esports to initiate this Tyrant without any concerns about Nonshin RedForce trying to contest this. Haku, the Hound, is gonna jump in. The Tyrant is still gonna be for Konling.
Yeah, Haku here taking too much damage up, but look at the cavalry coming in for the side of Ratel here. Holding every single member coming in for the side of Nova Esports. That's 3 members down, and with a minion wave towards mid lane here, they could potentially look for that tier 1 push, but they play towards the safe side. They are looking for absolute jungle invasion. Nonshin RedForce loses the Tyrant, but comes online with those 3 kills.
I just love it. Look at that. They knew that they had the Tyrant priority. They go for it, but then after that, the Guan Yu comes in from the flank, and the Razor Cavalry is with the setup that Nonshin RedForce needed in this exact moment. Look at that. After these little fights, already a 1,500 gold advantage going in for Nonshin RedForce.
You can see through the replay here, initially Haku is really low in terms of health, utilizing the Dolia refresh with the Yangjin. That's why it's so super duper strong. If you have no heal reduction coming in for the side of Nova, you're just gonna be zapped by the Trilight's ultimate, and everyone gets a chunk of that ultimate, and you lose so much health while Haku gains so much back. And it comes down to itemization as well. Wendy went for the insatiable first item, so there's no heal reduction like Illusion on the first item, Venomous.
Oh, the Venom Staff, we've already discussed how strong an item has it become for the mid laners, right? Like we had that discussion over there in the previous days, and not having that option in there paid it was very costly for Nova Esports in these little fights.
It was. And you can argue that, oh, Xuan has a Blazing Cape, but Xuan's rotation speed isn't as fast as Ratel on the Guan Yu.
Yes.
Guan Yu, hands down, has one of the fastest map rotations in this game, which resulted into Ratel arriving the fight earlier and putting on pressure against Nova. And check out the Razor Cavalry that's being popped by the side of Ratel here, pushing Kongling into the midst of Nonshin RedForce, and the Javelin come in sniping Kongling down, and Ratel is still looking for the next target here. Targets are tanky, but they get 1 kill and they back away with a big win.
Okay, really sorry, but Konglin right now, he's gonna have to get online quickly, because already dying twice in this moment of the game where he's supposed to have a little bit of an advantage because of his build, it is bad news for Nova. They're gonna have to turn around and find someone else to carry this team, because Konglin right now, it is gonna be off. Like his damage is not gonna be on. He's not going to be able to tank any damage either. So that is going to be problems for Nova that they need to go and find answers to.
Yeah, and throughout the entire duration as well, Nonshin RedForce also picked up that mid-tier 1, and right now they are looking to pressure this Azure Golem as well. It does go into the hands of Kongling here. We do see the Ghost Ship here, setting the pace for this team fight, locking in Haku between the 2 members, but that's the Yangjin and Dolia damage that's just slamming through the members coming in for the side of Nova Esports. Yet another successful trade in terms of health bars coming in from the Ultimate Red.
I said that in the first 2 minutes, it looked like Nova was being a little bit more comfortable with this, but Nonshin RedForce just cracked their knuckles a little bit, and then after that, their dexterity came online. Look at them right now. Great communication coming in from Nonshin RedForce. We have 8 minutes, and right now, at this moment, with the advantage that they have, with the 2,000 gold advantage that they have right now, they might want to go for the next Tyrant before we make it to the 10-minute mark.
But fortunately, right, in terms of late game material, I do think that both teams are equally tied, but the pressure lies heavily on towards one specific player, on towards Nova. It has to be Muchi on that early. If he falters in the future fights, there will be no consistent damage coming in from the Nova roster. As Siri went for the tank long build, he's not going to be an easy target to be taken down by the likes of Wendy or Kong Ling.
Yes. No, and the problem right now is that only one Mutsu is not going to be enough for this whole thing. And the problem is that Mutsu cannot fall. And as time passes, and after his power spike is off, who's supposed to be able to deal damage from Nova? I do believe that they wanted to finish this game early, as they have been doing in the whole KIS4, but as things look right now, unless that Nonshin RedForce allows a mistake, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happening too right now. Nongshim is playing to a very comfortable level here, reducing mistakes as much as possible and getting more of these jungle wins from the bottom Azure side and also that bottom tier 2. In terms of map, is totally in control of Nongshim right now.
Well, we need to analyze one more thing here. The average time that Nongshim RedForce has had every single time that they win, it's a lot longer. It's a lot higher than what Nova has had. Can Nongshim RedForce really finish this before the 16-17 minute mark though?
I think long timers also means two things, right? One, they play very good late game, or two, they are unable to end the game during the mid game when they have the lead. I think we saw that a lot back in the Boom Esports series versus Nongshim, where Nongshim always had the early to mid game advantage, but the problem starts coming in those mid to late game team fights. If they can fix that issue, potentially this lead that they're holding against Nova could be a disastrous news coming in for the boys in purple on towards the red side.
Well, let's wait and see what's going to happen right over there. I know that Nova, even though the situation is not on their side right now, they might have a certain experience that Nonshin RedForce doesn't. Look at this one more time. The action here catching onto them.
Yeah, it does take the Raging Sea on towards the face here, but it's just a trait of spells here. No Frenzy, no Raging Sea coming in for the side of Nova Esports. The next upcoming fight is not going to be easy one for the side of Nova.
Look at that. Haku decides to go and start onto Dark Tyrant, and right now Nova Esports do not even have eyes on him. Already 50% on that Dark Tyrant, and it might go uncontested.
It will be going uncontested here, so right now we do see Nova Esports starting off this Overlord already here. It's down to have, but I don't think they can actually finish it as of now. Look at the pressure coming in for the side of Nongshim. This is their power spec, and they are forcing Nova to back away from a potential trade.
I love it. Look at how coordinated Nonshin RedForce is playing right now, giving them such a big advantage. Not only they understand how to force Nova into a corner, they understand what to do after Nova is in that corner. Sometimes you already see teams that they understand how to do the first part, they don't know how to follow up. What is the decision that I need to do after having this setup? This time, they corner Nova, and then they go for the Tyrant, they go for the Golem, and Nova right now has no answers to it.
I think they can only stall the game right. Right now, in terms of itemization, we are looking at Nongshim RedForce trailing so ahead against the members of Nova Esports, and Muchi, at the minute of 11:30 seconds, only just finished his Daybreaker, which is the third item in this slot. Check out Siri though. He's like so ahead, and he's getting so much itemization advantage against his opponent.
It is bad news for them because we already talked about the importance that Muchi is going to have right now.
But hang on a moment here, we do see an engage coming in from the side of Nova Esports here. Trent getting a perfect engage onto his Illusion and Namu, and this does leave Haku into the hungry mouths of Nova Esports, getting 3 quick kills in succession for the side of Nova here. That was a fantastic and on-point engage coming in from the ghost ship of Nova Strand.
We talked about mistakes, that unless that Nonshin RedForce made the mistake, they could actually just take this all the way to the moment that they wanted. And that mistake right over there, 3-0 trade for Nova, is going to allow them to take that Overlord that they really need.
This is the worrying part about Nongshim RedForce. We keep prizing them to say like, hey, their game time and duration is overall longer than the average team, but this is the problem. The lead that they always have tends to slightly fumble or triple back to their opponents due to these mid to late game mistakes that they're doing right now. And with their Overlords in the pockets of Nova Esports, they regain total control of the map, and this is Muchi's power spike right now.
Exactly. Right now is Muchi gonna be, his damage is gonna be online, and the Vanguard's pressure that is gonna be on putting onto the high ground from Nonshin RedForce it just spells nightmares for Nonshin RedForce at the moment. There's nothing that they can do right now because right now Muchis is really gonna start hitting with a lot of punch.
And this is the problem coming in for the South Nonshin RedForce draft. You don't really have a backline Aztecs or assassin to really counteract against Muchi, so you need Ratel or Haku to find that miraculous dive against Muchi to really threaten his DPS environment here. But so far, we don't see stuff like that happening, so if Nova gets the first engage on towards Nongshim, they will always guarantee the win, in the very least, those little skirmishes.
Right now, it's going to be Nova Esports, the one that turned the goal difference around. And right now, it's going to be them having at least a little 1,000 gold. They're not trailing no more, so that is already good for them. That is already good enough. These bangers, they did not have the result that they wanted. They would have preferred to be able to put a little pressure on the high ground, but it does never happen.
I think it's still good, right? They were trailing from a goal deficit against their opponents, and with that Vanguard play, it gave them back so much gold into their pockets. They are now looking at a stalemate between two teams, and towards the mid lane, we see Ratel going dangerously low, being the first target for the side of Nova Esports to be taken down, and right now is a 5v4. Spike goes over to the side of Nova's Kong Ling. Jungler for jungler. It's the fight of a lifetime here, and Kong Ling silencing the first few players. Haku has already been taken down, but in the trade, in the exchange of Muchi in that farm lane here, Wayfin finding a beautiful Raging Sea, capturing Illusion. This only leaves Siri being the sole member alive, coming in for the South Nongshim RedForce. 30 seconds on towards the timers here. Nova has a shot of ending this game one.
No, but right now they have the minions in the mid lane. Right now, Siri's gonna have to take something. Try to pull a rabbit out of a hat because this situation is spelling horribly for him. Look at him, Zagi. Let's see if he can defend.
I think he's potentially being able to, but Wendy going into the flash through engine here. Raging Sea catches on Siri here, in towards the mid side here. Ratel being isolated by the multiple members here, and Siri with no damage, with no help. The first crystal falls into the hands of Nova Esports in the best of 7 game one.
We mentioned that no